Hey everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. And I suppose some of you folks have heard the news that I've been tested positive ever since January 3rd of this year. Well, sadly, the rumors are true, which explains why I've been wearing my clear mask during my previous two blogs. And sadly, I'd hate to be in a negative mood, but I have no choice. Besides, you guys have seen me give my negative thoughts on many things ever since I started in 2013, some of which making it to my top 13 films that I hate, and in my eyes, some of the worst that I've ever blogged include 8 Crazy Nights, Joshua from 2007, Annie from 2014, Food Fight, the Angry Birds movie, the 5th Ice Age movie, Gem and the Holograms, The Boss Baby, Noah, We're the Millers, and The Groovenians. However, for many years, ever since 2016, aka the year of animal films, I've been wanting to get this travesty off my plate. So, without further ado, released on January 15th, 2016, the movie is Norm of the North. Now, let's get started, shall we? Norm the polar bear doesn't know how to hunt, but he does possess the unique ability to talk to humans. When the wealthy Mr. Green unveils his idea to build luxury condos in the Arctic, Norm realizes that his beloved home is in jeopardy. Accompanied by 3 mischievous lemmings, Norm stows away on a ship to New York. Once there, he meets a surprising ally who helps him hatch a scheme to sabotage the shady developer's plans. Now, my thoughts? Well, it's bad. Not Angry Birds movie bad, but yeah, really, really bad. And to further explain why I think so, let's move on to Mustang notes. The film was directed by Trevor Wall, best known for directing Puppy Dog Pals and Sabrina, Secrets of the Teenage Witch. And to be quite honest, this is the absolute worst animated film that Trevor has ever directed. Also to note, the movie was co-produced by Splash Animation, Telegal, and Assemblage Entertainment. Now, I've already mentioned last year that Splash Entertainment has produced the story of PJ Sparkles, along with Rock Dog, the 1994 Secret Garden movie, along with Michael Jackson's Halloween, Code Lyoko, The Life and Adventures of Santa Claus from 2000, and All I Want for Christmas Is You, all of which are a lot better than Norm in my opinion. As for Assemblage, well, I've seen some of their work, like Arctic Dogs, which I already blogged 2 years ago, along with Elliot the Littlest Reindeer, and The Miraculous Ladybug Show. But do you guys know what else Splash and Assemblage has helped with? The CGI Swan Princess sequels. And trust me, I'm really looking forward to the 11th film, which I hope gets released this year. And do you know what the insane thing about this film is? It received about $30.5 million out of its $18 million budget, which means it was a shocking success at the box office that it managed to get 3 direct-to-DVD sequels. And you folks should be glad that I won't get to those movies on my show. As for the animation, well, in my opinion, the CGI animation has some ups and downs. The ups, in my opinion, are the way the animators depicted the northern Arctic and New York City, which looks pretty decent enough, but most of the animals and people are designed really awkward, and their movements are kind of stiff and sometimes a bit too fast and a bit weird. Not to mention, a bit way too cartoony. Plus, I think the environmental plot is way too predictable, and most of the comedy didn't really get me any laughs. I mean, there's way too much pop culture references, and there's adult humor, which can be pretty disgusting. And that's basically all I got from Mustang Notes. So let's move on to the characters and the voice actors. The main character, Norm, is voiced by Rob Schneider, who's best known from Saturday Night Live, The Animal, and Grown Ups. Ugh. Now, in my opinion, Norm is a pretty special character due to the fact that he is the only polar bear in his territory who can speak human talk. And I understand where folks are coming from about him, since a lot of the other animals, including his parents, don't seem to take him pretty seriously. Also, I think Norm can be pretty derpy and a pretty clumsy character, and his dancing is really, really weird. Though, I do like how determined Norm is to do whatever it takes to save his Arctic home. Next we have Norm's 3 sidekicks, the lemmings. In my eyes, these little furballs are kind of a ripoff on Gru's minions from Despicable Me, and I'm hoping that the upcoming Minions sequel doesn't get delayed any further. Also, while the lemmings are sneaky, unkillable, and cartoony characters, and they are loyal and helpful to Norm, I think they have some of the grossest kind of comedy ever due to them peeing in certain places like a fish tank, and they also have a puke joke. Next is Vera Brightly, voiced by Heather Graham, best known from Boogie Nights and the second Austin Powers movie. Vera is an investor who works under Mr. Green, and in my opinion, she's a pretty friendly, intelligent, quick-witted, caring, motherly, and extremely talented, loyal, and a selfless woman. However, the only flaw with her is that she's kind of unaware that Norm is a real talking polar bear. Plus, Vera's reason for working for Green is just so that she can support her daughter in order for her to attend Magister Monday Academy. However, later, after learning that building condos in the Arctic will be hazardous to the environment, Vera sends her boss a resignation email, which I deeply applaud her for. Vera's daughter Olympia is voiced by Maya Kay, who voiced a bear cub in the first Alpha and Omega movie. And believe me, I'd rather have more fun blogging that movie than this film. If only I could get my pal Daniel to collaborate with me. Anyway, to me, Olympia is the only fully likable character in this movie, in my opinion, mainly due to her being a pretty intelligent little girl, and she somehow knows that Norm is a real polar bear and not an actor in a costume. Plus, I think Olympia has great zoology and environmental knowledge. Also, I feel sympathy for her due to her suffering from a severe case of fatherly behavior. Finally, we come to the main villain, Mr. Green, voiced by Ken Jeong, whom recently was a villainous pony, Sprout Cloverleaf, in My Little Pony: A New Generation. Anyway, unlike Sprout, Green is a really silly villain. Plus, he's really shallow, greedy, and melodramatic. Also, the way he's animated is kind of like he has no bones in his arms or legs. Also to note, I would never approve him building homes in the northern Arctic. Plus, I was really surprised when it was revealed that Green was the one who captured Norm's grandfather. But I'm glad that he got his comeuppance by falling into a manhole on Times Square. Other voices in the film include Cole Meany, Kate Higgins, Gabriel Iglesias, Bill Nighy, Charlie Adler, along with veteran voices like Debbie Derryberry, Ben Diskin, Keith Ferguson, Jess Harnell, Candy Milo, and Kathy Cavadini. Man. Anyway, let's move on to my final words. Overall, Norm of the North is an outrageously bad movie, and it really deserves to be one of the worst animated films I've ever seen, next to the Angry Birds movie. The story is weird and predictable, the comedy is immature, embarrassing, and unnecessary, the characters are pretty annoying, and the animation could have been done way better. If you want my advice, keep your distance from this movie at all costs, and I would never bother with the sequels. And so, I give this piece of polar derp a 36% out of 100. Well, that's all for...
Well now, Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince. So we finally meet.
Who in tarnation are you supposed to be?
Yes. I'm the COVID welder.
So, you're the guy who's been sending bats to make everybody sick.
Correct. Including you.
But why? Why infect me when you already infected several of my friends, including my sister?
Well, I've been watching you since my virus started in late 2019, and I had a feeling that you, of all people, would resist my bat's contagious spread by giving your pathetic audience happiness, optimistic, and false hope. And so far, you've been giving positive reactions to almost every movie that you've covered, even the mediocre ones. I've been working all my life to make all the world sick, but you, Joshua, you seem to enjoy keeping things in a positive perspective, and it makes me want to destroy you with my virus.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but even if your virus is as contagious as it's said to be, I'm still not gonna die that easily, because keep in mind that last year I've gotten fully vaccinated and boosted. Also, my quarantine period is almost over.
Well, that may be true, but just you wait. As long as there are still unvaccinated people out there, my virus will keep on spreading. And soon, it'll become so strong that no vaccine can stop it. And when all hope is lost, all the stuff you love will be gone forever, like movie theaters, stage acting, even your pathetic dream job at Disneyland. Mark my words, I'm not gonna rest until you die and the whole Earth becomes Planet COVID.
Who does that creep think he is, anyway? I'll show him a thing or two next time, after I'm free to be out and about again. Anyway, folks, be sure to join me for my next blog, which I'll hopefully be in a better mood by then. And please, folks, for your own good, get your vaccines and boosters ASAP. Mustang power.